Hello, my loves. Welcome into this reading for the full moon in Virgo. This reading is for you if this full moon is happening in your 11th house, meaning your rising sign is Scorpio, and or 16 degrees 40 minutes of Virgo shows up in your 11th house. If you haven't already watched the introduction to these readings and you want to learn more about what we're doing here and the energies in play, you can find that link in the description and popping up on YouTube. So the 11th house in our Zodiac story is ruled by the 11th sign of the Zodiac, which is Aquarius. So the themes of the 11th house, this area of our life that the 11th house encompasses, is friendship. So I like to say it's the house of all relationships of two or more. So it's relationships of you and two or more people. Okay, so I guess it's the relationships of three or more. So beyond one-on-one relationships, it's one and two or one and whoever else, okay? So it's communities, groups, charity work, wishes, humanity, tribes, whatever it is that you use to describe large groups, okay? Groups of more than just two people, okay? So this is the area of your life that the full moon is occurring for you. But also, if you're using the whole house system, this is the area of your life that Virgo energy is present. So any planets that you have in Virgo are relevant in this house. This is the area of your life that those planets are expressing. And even if you don't have any planets in Virgo, you have the Virgo energy at your disposal when it comes to communities, groups, charity, wishes, and humanity. So what that means is you always, in your dynamics of two or more, with two or more other people, you always can tap into your ability to observe, your ability to analyze, your ability to be logical, helpful, precise. These Virgo qualities are always present for you to be able to draw in and utilize in your groups. Now, the shadow side of Virgo is perfectionism and being overly critical. So you may also find that those habits and tendencies show up in group settings. Just something to be aware of. Okay? But I'm trying to expand these readings to be more than just advice and guidance. They're also tools for learning more about yourself and the energies in play. Remember, our sun sign is just a breadcrumb of the Zodiac story. There's so much else going on, and we all have these elements and expressions in us. It's just how and where they show up that's unique to each of us. So for this full moon, we're going to be celebrating, because full moons are about celebrating, the theme of logic, which is what this full moon in Virgo really wanted me to key in on. So we're celebrating logic in your communities, in your groups, in your tribes, etc. Okay? In your work for humanity, which is a large group. So we're going to get guidance from the Goddess Power Oracle on how to celebrate this logical influence in this area. So if you haven't already, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, open your heart to receive the guidance most aligned for you at this time, and call in your spiritual support team if that feels good to you. You can go ahead and do that. Pause the video if you need more time. Your card is here, ready to go. Beautiful. Number 35, Maya, illusion. When you look at the world, everything you see appears to be real. So it is easy to imagine that your current conditions are influenced only by obvious actions and calculated movements. This is an illusion, and as everything is intrinsically connected, though not visible to us due to the limitations imposed on our perception by our five senses. Multicultural goddess of illusion, Maya, who appears in Hindu, Buddhist, and Greco-Roman and Scandinavian spiritual traditions and myths, calls you to trust that the invisible world is responding to your deepest desires and intentions to make a better life for yourself and others. You're being able to see through the curtain of illusions, and your clarity and intuition is heightened as your next steps are sure-footed. When the goddess Maya chooses to help you, trust that everything you need arises from your world with ease. Okay, I love this message. I invite you to pause this reading. If you want to journal on what came through, if you want to review that a little bit again, you can totally do that. So what I'm getting an understanding here is that when it comes to your group settings, when it comes to humanity as a whole, the logical thing to do, the logical celebration here is to see the interconnectivity of it all. It's actually very logical that everything's interconnected. If we look at the science of everything, of anything, we'll see the interconnectivity of it all, even though scientific disciplines, all focus on separate areas and disciplines. There is an interconnectivity of it all, and this is the logic that you're being invited into, and it's specifically the interconnectivity of the groups that you're in. The work that you do in one group influences another group, and we're all connected. And so the choices that we make in the group's dynamics and our charity work and our wishes and our dreams, the choices that we make influence humanity because we're all interconnected. And so I feel like the logic that she's bringing through here is like realizing that we're all connected. It's like logical, like duh, we're all interconnected. It's all part of this same whole. And that includes, you and two other people. Like if you have a group of three, you guys are all interconnected, and what one person does influences the other, especially when you guys are together. But even when you guys are apart, we're all interconnected and influencing each other. And I apologize if I seem a little scattered. My headphones died, so I am rolling without my ability to make sure that this is recording properly. So that's my distraction if you picked up on that. If you didn't, just kidding, never mind. I have a Virgo rising, so these Virgo full moons have been really full. These readings have been full of me like being overly analytical and critical, and the perfectionist in me is going crazy. But it's beautiful and perfect. Yeah, everything is intrinsically connected. And trust that your invisible world is responding to your deepest desires and intentions to make life better for yourself and others. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, if you know about the law of attraction, it's like whatever you put out there, whatever you resonate, whatever frequency you give out, you're going to get it back. Okay? Amplified and multiplied. And so there's this beautiful truth, logic when it comes to our wishes, our hopes for humanity, our dreams, our aspirations. Even though we can't see, we don't see in our everyday world concrete evidence of this truth, it is in fact a law. It's logical. This world wouldn't be able to hold together the way that it does without this feedback system, without this call and response energy of the universe. That's what makes the whole thing work. And that's what connects it all too. And so we're using logic when it comes to our dreams and our wishes and the things that we're hoping for humanity. And we're saying, logically, I know that even without the evidence of the work that I'm doing, the energy that I'm putting out, I know that it has to come back to me because it's a law of the universe. It's logical. Even though sometimes our logic wants to say, well, I don't see the evidence, so clearly it isn't working, right? But that's narrow-minded. That's the illusion. Okay, so you're being invited by this goddess Maya to expand your logical understanding of the way that things work and to act on that level of knowing. And to recognize the interconnectivity of your groups and that the energy with which you do something in the group affects the whole. And so it's even more important to make sure that you're aligned with your desires, your wishes for the betterment of all. Okay, that's very Aquarian in nature, which is the house that this is for you, but it's also the age that we are in. And Pluto's about to move into Aquarius, which is gonna shake things up for humanity in a really beautiful and powerful way, but it might look not like that at first, okay? Because there are other vibrations that were sent out earlier that still have to play out before we can really see the reality of our new earth. new interconnected, human-oriented society. Okay? So that's a big theme, not just for this new moon, or full moon, sorry. Not just for this full moon, but certainly for the next few years here. Okay? Pluto's going to move into Aquarius, then move back out, and then move back in. So we're going to be flirting with this energy. And so the advice here is to remember that it's logical to trust that what you put out, you're going to get back. Okay? And play with it. Play with it. Be an experimenter. If I'm saying this, you're like, that's BS. Okay. Well, then do me a favor and experiment with this. Wake up in the morning and think to yourself, this is going to be a good day. Spend 5 minutes before you get out of bed thinking about all the amazing, miracle, magical things that could happen in your day. And then go throughout your day and see what happens. Notice the results. Notice how the world bends to affirm that what you created in that morning is being sent back to you. And maybe you do it for a few days, right? Because you may have sent out energy yesterday that was contradictory to that, and that's what you're experiencing today, right? So do it for 2 or 3 days and see how your week changes. Do it for a week. How's that? Can you give me a week of experimenting if you don't believe what I'm saying? Right? It's logical to experiment. You don't know if something's true? Well, try it. Try it. Try to consciously create a good day, an enjoyable day, one that feels good in your body, one that sounds good, one that gives you excitement and surprises you in magical ways. And just envision that for 5 minutes in the morning before you get out of bed for 7 days. And then tell me what you put out, you don't get back. Let me see. See for yourself, okay? That's all I got for you. There's a lot there. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know how that experiment works out for you. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors that universal light within you. Namaste.